Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the M44, the Tier 6 American SPG, and this one's located on the south spawn of Prokhorovka and is under the command of Zin 1983. But I'm afraid this video is a team killing video, and Zin is about to be team killed by the Scorpion on his own team, Wolf Jaeger. He's also a blue rated player. He's just off in the distance over there. Here he comes. You can see Zin pulling back into the bushes. I'm keeping my eye on the Scorpion for you. Now he's just crossed over the railway line. And I'm staying in third person view. Now that Scorpion's headed up to the hill. There you go, there you can see him in the distance. Zin's fired his first shot at the enemy and pulling back into the bushes here. Now he actually is in the open, so he can actually be seen by the Scorpion off in the distance. And Zin's actually saying that this balance is meant on one side, and he's pointing out that the battle is a bit imbalanced at the moment. Too many people have gone over to the other side of the battlefield, and Zin just knocked over that tree. He's moving over to the other side of the battlefield himself, because I think he's a bit concerned, and so is the other Lorraine. He's a bit concerned that it's a bit unfairly balanced, and we are losing tanks on the west side of the map. And if you notice, Wolf Jaeger is up on top of the hill, and this time round he's now looking at Zin, pointing his gun at Zin. Of course he can see Zin, and there you can just see that two of the teammates on the hill have just been hit by the Arty, which is on the other side of the railway line. And the Scorpion just fired a round back at Zin, who wasn't even involved. Now, of course, it goes without saying that this is now going to end up being a loss for this team, because without their Arty support, they've got no hope of surviving. It looks like Epic Gamer VK2801 has just received a round from that Lorraine 15550. Zin has just announced that he was team killed by the Scorpion. And the Lorraine is taking fire from the VK. And there's just general ramming going on there as well, you can see. If they're not careful, they will turn blue. But I think it's almost a certainty there will be a loss here. Yep, there's general trolling going on now between the 2801 and the Lorraine. I don't think they're taking part in the battle anymore. The enemy has managed to capture most of the main battlefield. In fact, there's only an IKV-90B over in the bushes over here and a VK-101P on this side of the railway line. The rest of the team are up on the hill or fighting each other down on the grounds below. And yes, they are still fighting and pushing each other about. Well, the enemy is capping. And it looks to me like Zin 1983 was team killed by the Scorpion by mistake, because it wasn't Zin who actually fired at the Scorpion. I believe we will find later that it was the Lorraine 15550. Well, their team are now losing badly. There's 6 tanks down. And the Lorraine's just been killed by the enemy. The VK10001P's been killed by the enemy. There are now only 2 teammates left. The VK2801 and, of course, that Scorpion, who's still up on the hill. Now, he didn't turn blue. He's still there and he's still moving about. Right, well, the VK2801 has drowned himself, which wasn't very clever. I think he did that deliberately. Now, Wolf Jaeger has just killed the heavy tank number 6, but he won't be able to survive the rest of the enemy team. They still have 9 players on their team. They are capping. Wolf Jaeger is continuing to fight. Now he's being hit by multiple Arty shots. He's trying to fight off that Pershing, but I don't think he's going to be able to do so for much longer. And there you go, he's been killed. In fact, an OHO got him. So let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, here's the end of battle stats. And you can see that Zin didn't actually manage to get any damage on the enemy at all during that game, I'm afraid. He was team killed before he got a chance to. And if we look at the team scores, we can see that the highest scorer in the game was actually the ISU 130 on the enemy team. He got a high caliber and top gun for 3,843 hit points of damage, 6 kills and 959 base XP. The next highest scorer was the Pershing with 2,256, 2 kills and 852. Zin, no damage, no kills, and 53 base experience points for turning up. And the person who killed him, which was Wolf Jaeger, he managed to get 8 shots fired, 8 direct hits, 7 penetrations, did damage of 1,361 hit points. He got 2 kills and 365 base XP. But you can see here, 1 team kill and 280 hit points, which was, of course, Zin 1983's full health. So he wiped him out by 1 shot from his gun. But there was some other team damage going on. And if we look at the T Lorraine, we can see the Lorraine didn't get any kills, but he did do 792 hit points of damage during that game. Now, the majority of that was against the tanks that he fired on the hill against. When he crossed the railway line, he fired up onto the hill, did a huge amount of damage up there, and then, of course, Wolf Jaeger fired on Zin, thinking it was Zin that did it. So, mistaken identity. And, of course, then the Lorraine started to troll the VK2801 and did damage to him as well. So, a huge amount of damage. So, effectively, you could say that the team trollers or team killers, well, the team killer was Wolf Jaeger. He did kill Zin 1983, no doubt about that whatsoever. 1 team killed, 280 hit points. But we should also say that the Lorraine is also responsible, because if he hadn't started the whole thing, and if he hadn't done the 792 hit points of allied damage, or blue on blue damage, friendly fire, then this whole thing wouldn't have started at all. Now, this was on NA server, and I will try and get close shots of what actually happened during that replay again. And I'll put that directly after these results so you can exactly see what happened precisely when the Lorraine fired at the guys on the hill, and then who actually got hit by that shell and why they fired on Zin. I think it was because they thought it was the M44 that fired on them, and it turned out it was the Lorraine. But there you go. So I'll put that up any second now. Thank you. Okay, now I said I'd show exactly what happened during that shot to find out who was responsible for all the team killing that went on during this game. And you can see that I've frozen the game at 1 minute and 45 seconds into the game, and you can see that Zin's moved over to the other side of the railway line. He's hidden in the bushes, and if you notice, the Lorraine 15550 is sitting on top of the railway tracks, and he's actually aiming at the hill. So he wasn't trying to take part in the game. He was actually deliberately trying to cause trouble. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to move over here. I'll just move over a bit faster, and we can see that if we look there, you can see it's the Lorraine that is actually aiming at the aim point on the hill right now. He's actually marking the target on the hill. So it's Frodox 129 who's actually causing the problem. So what we'll do is we'll go over to the hill, and we'll see the aim point and see exactly who was he targeting on the hill. Well, I've just flown past the spot, and there you can see the aim point he was actually aiming for was Epic Gamer, the IKV, and the Scorpion. So what I'm going to do now is advance the game slowly so you can see exactly what happens when the shot is fired. There he's fired, and there he's hit. All 4 tanks in the vicinity were hit by that shell from the Lorraine 15550. All 4 of them. Now it's the Scorpion, and I'm slowing this down now. The Scorpion suffered the most damage, and you can see they're all stunned. The Scorpion is looking in Zin's direction, not the Lorraine. And speed it up again to quarter speed. The Lorraine moves off. Scorpion's aiming his gun directly at Zin. And he kills Zin. So this was a case of mistaken identity. The real problem was actually Frodox 129. Scorpion Wolf Jaeger did kill Zin 1983, but he thought he was responding to friendly fire that was fired by Zin. In actual fact, it was fired by Frodox. So there you go. So the cause of this problem was Frodox, and Wolf Jaeger took retribution against Zin, so he's the team killer, and Frodox is the would-be team killer. Thanks for watching.